All right, now what we got to do to check this out is put it back together by, remember this end is going into the pedal. This is going to go in like this. Okay. Then we have, let's see, this end, which is going to go over the front and over these wires here. And we just gotta pray that it goes nicely. Yes, it does. Okay. Okay, so that's on there good. Nice and tight, actually. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put this, and you could see which end goes. Obviously, it's gonna be this one. It's gonna go over this part right here. So in you go. Over like that. And this is where your cable end goes. Now this you're gonna have to test fit on the car, obviously, to get it right, to see where it's supposed to be. But we'll just take a whack at it. So we'll throw this on like that. That's how it goes. Like that. Wait a minute, is that how it goes? Hold on. I'm bugging out. There we go. That's how it goes. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay. And you're gonna take your little set screw. Oh, where's the camera? You're gonna take your set screw and then you're gonna close it off. So let's say you need that to be here, just as an example. And then we'll go out to the car and we'll see what it looks like over there. I'm not gonna make this too tight right now. And your hold, I don't know what you want to call it, your this guy here is basically gonna hold this in place. Like that. Okay, so let's go test it out. All right, so first off, I want to say this did not fit in here. It's a little too big, and it had like a hex thing on the end of it, which would not permit it to fully seat in here. So what I did was I ground it down, and the way I did it was super easy. I'll show you. Literally stuck one end in the drill and just took some 80 grit to it and then some 120 to smooth it out. But I mean, it's perfect now, fits in there like butter. So now we could attempt to put this back in. All right, so this is kind of gonna be tricky to see, but I'm gonna take this end here, sorry, one hand over here. I'm gonna put a washer, so it's not perfect, but it's not gonna let it go completely through. I'm gonna put that right into, let's focus, that square hole that you see right there. That's where this is gonna go. Basically, we're gonna take this nut and thread it on from the other end, from the inside. All right, so it's gonna be kind of tricky to see, but I'm gonna try to find that. There it is. Let me zoom in. so you guys can see. Hopefully I can get a clearer shot of this. There you go. So we're gonna have to try to thread that on there, which of course is not going to be easy. And at the same time, we're going to take that little ball that you see there, we're going to connect it to the top of this pedal right here. All right guys, so it's the next morning. I had to stop. It was taking too long last night and I had to make a couple changes. So up here you'll see that I did have to end up using, I forget what this part is called, but I did have to use it. Reason being is that little ball on the end that I was telling you guys about was too small for this section right here. So I would fit it in here and it would pop out the side. So I had to end up doing this, and I also had to shave down some of this plastic piece of the pedal in order for the metal piece to fit over it. But now that works very nicely. The cable is not hooked up on the other end, but with this spring you can see how it'll just jump back. And let's go back to the top and I'll show you something else. All right guys, so I got it fitting through the grommet here. You could see where it's bolted in there. Very nice, very nice. Now remember how I said I was cutting this a little bit longer just in case I would mess something up? Well, it's too long, and what needs to happen is this end here needs to sit in here. It basically goes in through this end and ends up stopping around here. So if we want this to be a nice smooth line up until here, we're gonna have to cut about right there. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cut that, and as you could see, it's a good amount that has to get cut, and there's a long length of cable still left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the cable out so that I could cut that without being scared of cutting that cable. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you guys could see it. Let's see, focus, focus, focus. That's the cable right there. So I'm gonna try to pull at that cable. There we go. Okay. See that? I'm just pulling the whole cable out. Ah, I got it out. Okay. And now I could cut that piece. All right, so I covered up the valve cover just because I'm gonna be shooting some sparks. The cable is out, so I could just go ahead and cut this. But first I'm gonna mark it. You wanna make sure you have this at the right kind of spot. So I want this to have maybe like a little bit of slack to it. I don't want it to be completely like straight, just in case I need to have a little extra room. So let's say it's this would be around where it would sit if it was tight. I'll give it a little slack and I'll cut it here. Okay, so let's take this end off. Wow, that's super tight with that that piece that I had. Perfect. That worked very well. Let's not lose that. And now let's cut at the mark I made. Here's the cut. The edges are a little frayed, as you could see. So we're gonna try to make it nice. So we're gonna take this right here from our kit, open it up, get that over the frayed edges, hopefully. Okay, looks like, do I got it? Kind of got it. The edges are really frayed. I think the last time I used electrical tape first. So let me get that first. So I used electrical tape to kind of keep the edge down a little bit. So this way, those frayed edges don't interfere when I'm trying to slip that that seal over it, you know. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. You want to be careful because you don't want to block the actual hole. Because that still has to slide through. Okay, that worked out good. All right. Boom. Now I'm going to heat shrink this. Came out really nice. Okay. Now remember, that is plastic in there, right? So we don't really want to mess anything up there. I'm just using this sharp pick tool I have to make sure that nothing is blocking that hole. And it looks totally fine, actually, so. Okay, now I'm gonna come with this connector and I'm gonna go back over. Let's see. Hopefully it didn't make it too big now. I don't think so though. If it is messed up, then you're gonna have to just pretty much do it, do the seal over again, which isn't the end of the world, because you could just cut it off with a razor blade. This light is in my eye, sunlight. Kind of twisting it on there. So now I'm gonna have to just feed this through. I'm just gonna do a little time lapse. All right, so I'm gonna check, make sure it moves freely, which it does. Let me remove this stuff so we get a nicer view here. Okay, so now let's get this guy in here. So what you're gonna wanna do is put this in, loop it through, there you go. Super simple, that's it. So this is how the line sits. I could always get a tab to kind of make it sit down a little bit, but that's again because I left it a little bit longer on purpose. I didn't want it to be like a super tight fitting there. So this is how it is. Very happy with it. So now we're gonna dress this extra long line here. All right guys, so here's that piece that I shaved down to fit in there. And here is try not to lose it, the threaded Allen piece that will hold the line down. So let me show you guys how that works. There's a tiny little hole here that's gonna feed the line through. So let's set that up. Okay. All right. That's pretty much how it's gonna sit in there. I'm gonna start threading this in. You know what? Let me do it this way, where I already got this in most of the way. There we go. That's better. Your throttle body might not be like this, but I'm gonna put some tension on this right here, and I'm gonna thread this all the way through. Okay. All right. A little bit of slack here. Okay. And let's see what this looks like. It's not really moving by itself down the line here, but let's see what it looks like when I step on the pedal. All right, guys, this is the finished product. Boom, boom. Is it perfect? I don't want to say it's perfect. It opens all the way when you press on the pedal. It's really good. I cut the wire right here. It's gonna work. Let's just say that it's gonna work. A lot better than I thought it would be. Perfect, no, but good enough. Yes. So if you're in need of a throttle cable solution, this could be an option for you. All right. If you have anything better, let me know. I might copy you guys. Thanks again.